Good evening and welcome to Haunted Homemaking. Now, they say when Halloween looms closer, the veil between the dead and living thins. I rarely take part in mortal happenings, but as an old ghost, I can't help but be a bit curious. I may pay a quick visit to the land of the living. I heard it's an absolute dumpster fire right now. Can any of you confirm? Curiosity aside, I do have a fun craft episode for you all, conjuring the Yokai Chochin Obake, or paper lantern ghost. As always, thank you for letting me be your haunted homemaker, and please enjoy. When making a paper lantern ghost, we'll want a paper lantern, of course. Deep in the catacombs of my home, I found this lantern. It's a bit tattered, with holes in part of the wireframe bent, but I'm kind of in love with that dilapidated look, as if this lantern has been waiting for a very long time. Chochin Obake are sukumagami, which are spirit or souls created when a household object reaches its 100th birthday. According to that, I should have at least 4 souls under my belt, but I'm not an inanimate object. Chochin Obake are depicted with large gaping mouths constructed from their body. So what I'm doing is carefully tearing away part of the lantern to create that ghoulish grin. I want to be very light when doing this, as the paper is fragile and I don't want to accidentally tear away too much material, but no worries if that does end up happening. Now, when it comes to the structure of a paper lantern, we have these wire ribs that allow for the lantern to collapse into itself. These can get in the way when creating large holes in the paper, so I'll have to cut them away when forming the mouth. In yokai folklore, Chochin Obake are fairly harmless. The extent of their existence is to scare people with their large, expressive features such as lolling their tongue or laughing maniacally. This means when creating the mouth, I want to shape it so that it appears mischievous, exaggerating the corners of the mouth upwards, almost taking up half the lantern. Now, because I did tear away too much of the lantern, I needed to rebuild parts of the mouth. Using shoji paper, I just cut out or tore random shapes and glued them around the mouth. This doesn't have to be perfect. Better yet, it should feel organic. I mean, this paper lantern suddenly came to life and sprouted a large eye and mouth. It should feel almost chaotic. We want torn edges on the paper and lots of wrinkles. If you don't have shoji or mulberry paper lounging around that haunted home of yours, gift wrapping tissue paper works just as well and is much more accessible. With the mouth created, we have another iconic feature of Chochin Obake, and it's its large, eerie eye. Like before, we'll tear away the part where we want the eye to sit. To create some dimension, I have this plastic craft ornament that separates into 2 halves. You can find these easily in store as the holiday season nears, but if not, I'm sure the World Wide Web can help too. Using one of the halves, I'm attaching to the lantern using an almost illegal amount of hot glue. Careful with those fingers, things can get hot very quickly. because this yokai is a devilish trickster, wouldn't it be so fabulous to have its eye follow you around? I can achieve this illusion with the other half of my plastic ornament. I want to prime the inside with white spray paint so that my acrylic paint will stick. I'm going with a kind of bloodshot eye for my paper lantern ghost, so lots of red. I find using the very tip of a dry sponge brush and the smallest amount of paint creates a nice texture for the iris. And using different shades of red, I've created my Chochin Obake's eye. What creates the illusion of the eye following you around is actually the painted part receding into the lantern. Although it's fixed in the back, it appears to follow your gaze due to the layers of the eyelid, the depth of blank space, and then the iris and pupil. I'll attach this part by joining the two halves of the plastic ornament, and again, using an almost illegal amount of hot glue to hold. Being a Tsukumagami, this paper lantern has been waiting for a very long time, and it's looking a little too pristine despite having a bit of wear and tear. I had an idea to kind of have a naturey theme, so I added some faux moss, a bit of leaves and some sticks, and adding some aging with paint and makeup. Putting our gorgeous lantern to the side for now, we cannot forget about Chochin Obake's large tongue. Now, for a while I did go back and forth on how to construct the tongue, but ultimately it needed to be lightweight for the paper lantern. Using two pieces of foam cut into the shape of a tongue, I glued floral wire to one side, leaving out a bit of the wire so I can attach my tongue later. Then glued my foam pieces together using rubber cement. The floral wire on the inside will allow me to bend the tongue into any orientation I want, allowing for some peculiar expressions for my paper lantern ghost. Once the glue is dry, I use a Dremel to smooth the edges, then coat my entire piece with Plasti Dip in a well-ventilated area, ladies and gentlemen, and paint with acrylics. All the ghoulish parts of my paper lantern ghost are finally done, and now it's time to assemble and conjure the spirits. With a few more details and a light placed carefully inside, a tricky ghost slowly wakes up after 100 years of service. What a fun little project. It's actually been quite some time since I've done a craft episode, and it is good to be back. Now, I have a strange feeling that this paper lantern ghost will fit right into the haunted household. As always, thank you for letting me be your haunted homemaker. Please stay safe, please take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
And you see right there, they will send us money just for
Awesome.
shopping there.
No way. What do we have to do?
We just have to spend $3,200 a month as long as we have the next level of membership.
$3,200 a month, huh? I'm gonna need a raise on my allowance.
That's the next level.
Huh. It says here that we just have to be executed members.
If we're executed members and we spend $3,200, they will send us a check for $64.
Wow, I'm gonna buy so many snacks. Did something just lick me?
It wasn't me.
Ah!